Hey, so story number two about places to hide. I remember once we played South by Southwest in 2016, and we played this thing called the Aussie BBQ, which is this big Aussie contingent showcase gig. And it's the middle of the day, and I got the feeling that we weren't originally supposed to be on the lineup. Like, I think they'd already organised the lineup, and then I think as we were getting a bit of radio play on college radio there in the lead up, they went like, oh, maybe we should chuck them on. And so they just threw us on at the start of the lineup. And what normally happens is like they start off with like sort of acoustic acts and kind of chill stuff, because I think it starts like 11 or midday or something like that, and then it gets like all the big rock bands at the end. And of course, we're not like a soft acoustic band at all. And so we opened this gig, and it may like it was. I think it was like 12 o'clock. I think it started at 12 on the dot. But it may as well have been like 9 a.m. after like on New Year's Day. Like no one was up. Like everyone, like the few people who were there, were like clutching onto coffees and like very quietly speaking and like not really doing much. And then we turn up with like this most like the loudest, biggest, bombastic noise we could produce, because we had it in our heads that like we've got to draw people in. Like there's people out, there's people about, but they don't know that we're playing, and so we've got to like make some noise. So like I remember the soundy coming up and being like this grizzled kind of sound guy, not unlike the guy from like Wayne's World too. And he's come up, cigarette, and he's going, all right, what's the setup? And I've gone like, it's like two guitars, two vocals, drums. And he was like, cool, yeah, great. Like, and he was like, oh, cool, I'm getting into this. Because I think he'd been used to like all these bands with like, oh, we've got like four acoustics, a drum pad, and we've got some guy on congas, and like, so he was just happy we were just like a straight up rock band. And it was like, great, cool. And then we did a very, very quick sound check. Like, it's really just a line check. And we just like, and we start with Places to Hide. That's the point of the story. Like Places to Hide is the opening track. And that song just blows your head off. And it definitely blew everyone's head off that day. So I think Dickie from Sounds Australia, who's like introducing all the bands that day, like he was like, and please welcome Pretty City. And then we just like went bang, and just I think he physically like was like pushed back. like the sound was just so big. He was not expecting that kind of like volume. We start the set with Place to Hide, and it's like boom, drums, boom, 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 and like we blow everyone's heads off, like, and there's no sound around, like there's no gigs going on like in the middle of the day. Or if there are, they're like sort of like what they call them, like day parties, and they usually don't start till like a little bit later. So like we're like Austin is silent apart from our like stadium sized freaking like sound blasting everywhere, and we just blew everyone's heads off. Like, we've actually got a recording from that gig, and it's like I think we must have had like 20 minutes, and I think we played what would normally have been like a half-hour set in 20 minutes. Like, not only was it like really loud, but we just slammed right through it. Like, it just sounds like the biggest like stadium punk. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was loud, and it got everyone's attention. So it did it did the job that we hoped it would do. But the funny thing was, at the end of the set, like, we've jumped off, like, they've sort of got like two stages next to each other. So we're on this one, we finish up, and then the band plays after us. I think it was even like Julia Jacqueline. So like that must have been awful for her, because like everyone's just senses are just blasted off their heads. And then she comes on like, with a really soft acoustic kind of vibes. But like I remember making a V-line for one of the guys from DMAs, and I thought like, oh yeah, I hope he saw the set, like I'll go chat to him. And the other guys sort of went to that side of the stage, and I remember I finished up chatting to the guy from DMAs, and I could see Hugh like running through the crowd, like trying to get to me, and like he's going, Johnny, you've got to come meet this woman, like come, like, and he like literally like grabbed my arm and dragged me through the crowd off to the other side of the stage where he and Drew were. And all I can hear, like, as I'm getting closer, is this thick, I think Northern London, North of London sort of accent, like screaming, "Where's Miami Beach? I want to meet Miami Beach." And of course she was talking about me, because I was wearing this t-shirt that says, Miami Beach on it. And that's all she had to identify me from. And she was determined to meet me, apparently. So this woman, whose name I forget, like I'll link her, I'll find her email and I'll link it down. but like she was a publicist from England, and she loved us. She was like, she was raving, oh, I loved it. I think she grabbed my arm and was like, I love you, I love everything about you, I love this, I love it all, it's fucking great, it's fantastic. And it was hilarious. And I remember she said something like that she used to work for Muse. And then like I think Drew, like I was quite excited by that, and Drew's like a massive Muse fan as well. And I think his face must have like twitched or something. Like she cottoned onto it, and she was like, "Don't worry, darling, it was when they were good." So she was awesome, and she was staying at the hotel across the road. So like we're in a park, sort of like in the middle of Austin. Like, and at the opposite end of the park as well. So you know, the front, like where you walk in from the street, there's a lot of park, and then the stage is sort of at the end. And she was staying across the road from the park, and she was just like in her like hotel room, like, you know, 5 floors up, and she heard us through, like, across the park, across the road, up 6 flights, through her window. She heard us playing and went like, what the hell is this? I've got to come down and see this. And so she did. And so like, and that's how she found out about us. And it was great. She goes, every time you're in London, like, hit me up. Here's my card, darling. Lots of darlings and love yous and stuff. And that was hilarious. I thought that was really cool. And she was really great. And I think she was working for the Delta rigs at the time, and we were big fans of the Delta rigs. I'm going like, yeah, absolutely, we'll hit you up. But that was just hilarious. Like this, like how loud we were that morning, that people like across the, like, blocks away could hear us. And Place to Hide was the one. Like that was the big rocking song at the start that got everyone's attention. So I'm so glad that it's out now, and it's you know, it's charting on the community radio charts here, AMRAP charts, and we're going to be releasing it in the States and Europe soon. So hopefully it'll be smashing all the radios over there too. So there you go.